Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Monday, March 27th, 2023. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. I got something big to tell you guys. You guys are just ahead of the curve because you've been watching my channel and possibly been watching other channels on here that have been telling you the same thing, but you're just ahead of the curve on everybody else out there. You know that the Fed is now they've lost the battle on inflation. They never really had it won to begin with. They were behind the curve. They were raising rates too slow to stop a freight train of inflation. But, you know, this inflation is crippling to the people out there because their wages aren't going up to meet the inflation. And so it's all about the money, guys. It's all about the moolah. You take a look at the demonstrations going on in France right now. It's all about whether they're going to get paid when they reach retirement age and want to raise the retirement age. It's money. It's about money. But people want to survive. And, you know, money is what you need to survive in this system. You can't survive without money. And so the people, the governments, you know, they've went through this period now where, we're going to balance the budget. We're going to blah, blah, blah. We're trying to taper a Ponzi scheme. And they're letting the heat fall on the people. And, you know, the German people here, they're not going to take it. And which way do you think's more effective? Lighting trash cans and cars on fire in France? Or what the Germans are doing? Because the Germans are going to cripple the transportation industry in Germany. We take a look here. It says transportation crippled by inflation-sparked mega strike in Germany. It says the transportation network of Europe's largest economy has grounded to a halt as German unions begin a 24-hour mega strike. Workers flooded the streets of German cities as they demand higher wages in response to the worst inflation in decades. The strike contributes to the ongoing social unrest in France, where millions protested last week against the government's unpopular pension reforms. The strike, which started just after midnight on Sunday, follows increasing protests seen across Europe over recent months as rising prices decimate household budgets. And so, look, they say it looks like a ghost town. Look at this airport or whatever, you know. I mean, it's just nobody there right now because they're under a strike. They're shutting down Germany. People can't get to work. The buses ain't running. But it says it's a matter of survival for many thousands of employees to get a considerable pay raise. German consumer prices surprised analysis by rising 9.3% year over year. It's at least that hot over here, the inflation. Maybe they measured a little bit more accurately in Germany, is all. But it's probably in excess of 10% everywhere right now. And, you know, I mean, people are just getting by. And you cut 10% off of everything, add 10% inflation to everything, and they're not getting by anymore. And this is why this is happening right now. But here's what I wanted to point out about all this. Higher wages, higher cost of living. You got prices are going to continue to rise, and wages are going to have to rise, and they're going to rise. Because they're not going to continue to allow these mega strikes to completely shut down their economy. They're going to cave in. And if they won't cave in, it's going to get a lot worse. Then they will cave in. And it means that people are going to be earning more money, but they're going to be spending more money, and prices are going to be rising even faster. It's just a matter of time now, guys, until all the people out there start to realize that you cannot save in this environment. Save money. Savers are going to get slaughtered. And you know, I'm going to tell you, there's a curve here. You know what the curve is? Is the general population is always behind the curve. It always takes them a little bit longer to figure things out. You're on my channel here, and I'm telling you guys ahead of time, so you guys know ahead of time that you can't save any longer. But there's a lot of people out there who are still saving money in the bank, or trying to. They haven't figured it out yet. But we're just on the verge. They're going to figure it out very soon, because people figure out things about money really quick because it's their money. And so you guys are just ahead of them. I mean, you might not be ahead of them by much. You might even be able to count it in hours before people figure it out. But it might take days or weeks or even months before the masses start to figure it out. And so, I mean, how many people will watch my show? I don't know. Maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people. You're all ahead of the curve on this. You're just ahead of them. And what are they going to do when they figure out they can't save anymore? That it's useless to save, that you're going to be a big loser. You're going to lose at least 10% per year on your savings. That means you're putting it in the bank and it's coming out the other door at inflation faster than you're putting it in this door. And inflation's only going to go up from here. Because when the people start to realize, hey, you know what? We can't save anymore. And this becomes a mass consensus, and the herd figures it out, well, then you're going to see inflation really skyrocket. And then that's clearly going to be obvious to everybody we can't save anymore. We got to spend this money as fast as we get it. Spend it as fast as we get it. And money will come in one side and it'll go right out the other side as fast as they get it. This will make inflation really shoot up there, because you know what? There's getting upwards nigh of $20 trillion in the United States that these people are trying to save. Just in the United States. Not counting countries like Germany, and Germany's great savers. Oh my gosh, they've been great savers. You know, and what about France and Italy and Spain and Portugal and all these other countries, the United Kingdom and Japan and every place else? They all figure out, hey, we can't save anymore in fiat currency. We got to save in something else. I wonder what that could be. And it'll take them a little while, because, like I said, they always take them a little bit longer to figure this all out. The general public. Like, you're getting this information ahead of time, so you're a little bit ahead of the curve. But it always takes the general public a little bit longer to figure all this out and sort their heads around it. And they're going to say, well, what can we save in? We can't save in dollars or yen or Swiss francs or whatever country it is. We can't save in this currency anymore because it's losing value every year at an astounding rate. What can we save in? Huh? Blah, 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 blah. Do you know, honey? What can we save in? We can't keep our money in the bank anymore. We're losing too much on it. What can we save in? Well, they're going to figure it out. And they're going to realize that they need real physical metal, precious metals. And some of them are going to hop on the cryptocurrency bandwagon. And that's going to drive it up too. And so it's going to be rather attractive as well. But, you know, like I say, it's a little bit more risky. But it might not be risky. If you get so many people hopping on board and hopping on to... Because what is money? What defines money? Well, you know, this substitute for money, for real money, that we call Federal Reserve notes, or we call Great British pounds, or we call Japanese yen, or whatever. These money substitutes. They do imitate money rather well. They are fungible. They can be a store of value. But they fail. They're unlimited in quantities. And so when they start to reach this failure point, where inflation starts to take off, people can't save in them anymore, most people have a learning curve here. They have to learn what real money is. And it's a very narrow window here. It's a very narrow thing of what can be used as money. Gold and silver fit the bill and have for thousands of years. You can just take my word for it, guys. This is going to be figured out, and it's going to be figured out pretty soon. If you guys are ahead of the curve, and you can see you're still ahead of the curve. Just look at this. Look at these low silver prices, and it's down 20 cents today. So we know, this is how I know that we are the minority, the people that have already figured this out. We've never seen a worldwide hyperinflation before. Or I should say, all the Western countries. We've never seen anything like this before. And you're just ahead of the curve. You're just ahead of the... It's kind of like this. There's volcanoes around the world. And we've seen volcanic explosions around the world. But we've never seen Yellowstone blow because it's a mega volcano. And we've seen hyperinflations around the world before, in places like Venezuela, Germany, the list goes on. But we've never seen a worldwide hyperinflation before, and that's like Yellowstone blowing up. Get ready for it. Taking a look at the silver price, $23. Now taking a look at gold. Gold today, it's down $19.50. And this is because the riggers, who shall go nameless, but they're basically the bullion banks, are manipulating the price still downwards through paper short contracts for your benefit. Keep that in consideration. Cryptocurrency today, we're looking at a Bitcoin price of $27,162 and Ethereum's at $17.23. Taking a look now at the S&P 500 at $39.73. It's up 2 points. Where's the Dow? Is this the Dow? Oh, I did the Dow, didn't I? Yeah, S&P 500. Crude oil today is at $70.81. It's up $1.55. So the markets and everything out there today, everything is trying to find a normal ground today after what we've been through in the last week or so. And in other words, things are trying to stabilize. It's not going to be able to stabilize. There's a lot more coming. So, bonds and rates today, we're looking at rising yields. And we're looking at significantly high rising yields. The 10-year has went up almost 12 basis points. It's at 3.48 or 3.49. And the U.S. 30 years at 3.71. It's up 7.1 basis points. So the yields are rising today substantially. U.S. dollar index today is at 102.93, and we see the descent of the dollar. Compared against, it's 60% of the basket that makes up the dollar is euro, and so being compared against the euro, and it's going down against the euro, that's not a good sign, as the euro is just a hot mess. Okay, guys, thank you for listening to my show. Just remember in the back of your head that there's a time very, very near in the very near future where the masses, the bulk of the people out there, are going to realize that they can't save anymore. And they're going to realize something that's hard to realize, that there's very few avenues that you can actually take your money out of fiat and put it into savings and something else. It's a very narrow band. I mean, you would think, hey, I should be able to, this is what you would think. You would think, hey, I should be able to take my money out of fiat and put it into something else. And there should be lots of things out there that I can put it into to save my money and alternatives to the fiat currencies. Should be like a whole big But when you stop and you think, then suddenly it dawns on you, hey, you know what? There's mostly only gold and silver. It's a very narrow door. And so basically what's happening right now is it's like we got a crowded gymnasium full of people. They're all in there having a party. It might be 3,000 people in the gymnasium. And there's a fire started in there. And the first few people that are around the fire, real close to it, and can smell the smoke and stuff, are getting out through the exit doors right now. That's like you guys. You're the first guys to smell the fire, and you're out there and you go through the exit door. In other words, you're buying gold and silver, right? And cryptos and stuff. Because you're the early guys. You're the earliest ones. You're on top of it before somebody all of a sudden yells fire. And then everybody runs for the exits. All at once. And that's what's going to happen pretty soon. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's going to happen pretty darn soon now. And that's when the gold and silver is going to disappear. I mean, most of it's all been sold out now. But what little bit's left is just going to be stripped bare. You're not going to talk about not have any selection. You're not going to have any, period. And then they're going to go after, then they can't, when that's gone, there's only one other avenue out of this dollar madness, this fiat monetary system, and that's cryptos. And so they're, even after they've bought up all the gold and silver, there's going to be still oodles and oodles of this printed garbage that they've created to get rid of. And it's going to flow into cryptos. The excess. There's going to be a panic at a certain point, and that's just going to make the hyperinflation go so much faster at that point when everybody's trying to get out of the currency. It's going to become confetti. It's your money. The Fed's lost the fight. Their balance sheet's going up by the day as these banks fail. What did these banks do with all that money to begin with? They're like a sieve. You bail them out 2 days later. They say, we need to be bailed out again. We need another big heap of money, Fed. Or we're systematically, we're too big to fail. They'll take the whole system down unless you bail us out. And then they pour a whole bunch of money in and they give their employees like $18 billion bonuses. Well, it was 18 million. Credit Suisse went down. All of a lot of their top, just the top guys in the bank, you know, they give them $18 million. Just because, you know, I mean, they're going to be going out using some of that money to purchase things that are real goods and services. And what's that going to do to the price of real goods and services? You see, this is just a merry-go-round, you know. And I mean, as it keeps going on, the prices on everything's going to keep going up higher and higher and higher. And it's very soon the masses are going to realize all this. Can you imagine, though? Or can you really imagine? They're actually out there. There's a lot of people out there who are still trying to save. Oh, my. Okay, catch you guys later. Catch you guys tomorrow, and you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.